Order, please. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee for Monday, March 21st, 2016. Mr. Herman, come on forward. You have 5 minutes to speak on all items. You'll be followed by Mr. Spindler to speak for 5 minutes on all items, please.
Gracious, thank you, Mr. Budget Man. I'm glad that I have this opportunity to speak regarding on items pertaining to individuals who on a daily basis are discriminated because they're disabled or that their functions of disability impairs them to deal with certain people as Paul Krikorian. But in so much matter of discrimination, the subject of importance to me is still the issue on discrimination and failure to reasonably accommodate based on disability. And that's one function that this city has disgustingly harmed the public. And there is no situation worse than that under the ADA comprehensive of Title I and Title II discrimination based on a disability. And this particular reason, individuals with disability have become the minority who face the restrictions and limitations based on discrimination. Here at City Hall, you only allow 1 minute to public comment. You don't accommodate people. It does not interfere and cost the city one extra fucking penny more to accommodate people. So that's where the failure of your so-called position of political powerlessness comes into our society based on discrimination. And it's a matter of time before DOJ steps in and finds fault for that discrimination based under Title I and Title II and the 1973 Rehabilitation Act. So, Mr. Goatman, that's item number 1. And then going into the matter of City Attorney item number 9, report for relative proposed inclusion, I think you should involve this matter of material with the $975,000 award to Wayne Spindler for the actions the city took against him for those 13 miserable hours of false imprisonment. You heard, false imprisonment. You shouldn't engage as a city to harm people, but rather you should fix and remedy the problems that you create of unequal treatment and regulating meetings, whether they're here at City Hall and whether they're not at the police commission meetings held on Tuesdays at 9:30, which we will attend possibly tomorrow. But your betrayal on the public, on our society, and your characteristics go beyond the control of what is reasonable and unreasonable actions. Paul Koretz, Mike Bonin, vote no for Mitch Englander, and Mr. Bloomfield are not even here. No one's here. No one's here. What type of function are you running? What type of operation do you have here when you don't have a quorum? That's the fucked up idea about not following the Ralph Brown Act. Having a city charter that you do not follow by policy and procedure. Unequal treatment, Mr. Krikorian. And I have to talk to you in this language. No, don't be sorry. You don't have to be sorry. It's a matter of listening to the public.
Speak in intelligible
words. I am
words.
speaking about the items.
Excuse me, hold this time. Mr. Spindler, sit in silence. You won't make noise from the audience.
That was me. I was going.
You will speak in English words, or you'll be asked to leave.
So I can't speak in Furbish language?
Start his time again.
Thank you. So, now going on case item 2, Santa Fe and Center of Los Angeles versus the City of Los Angeles. Pay them. Pay them for what they are due. And pay for all their attorney fees and waive all the other additional bullshit. On item 4, Manuel Jesus Hernandez. Same case, a motorcycle accident. Pay up, pay up, pay up. Let's just resolve this. Let's just get all these actions determine on the legal process of having them paid in full now. And item 6, talking about Montolongo versus the City of Los Angeles, Superior Court case number BC5343472, the matter of private vehicle. Again, we have people using city vehicles causing harm to the public, causing harm to the public's assets, running into buses on DUIs. It sounds like the Jose Huizar show all over again. DUI, DUI, DUI. Do you not understand that? Stop the process of illegal actions against the public. Thank you.
I'd like to actually invite Marvin Cummings to come up now for general public comment, please. Mr. Cummings, if you could come on forward, and you'll have 1 minute, please, for general public comment.
I have to laugh. I'm talking body cameras. 1 minute is ridiculous. You have a selection of poor technology, old technology at horrendous prices, and it's not going to go away. You want to get this thing straightened out, you start with a independent consultant who reports only to the board and not the police department, or my company will guarantee you better results than you're getting now at 40% lower pricing you have now, and we'll put up a bond to guarantee it. I will email all you members of what I'm doing. If they're interested, get back to me. But as it is now, it's a disgrace what's going on in Los Angeles, and give the people a break. The money is obscene, and the service and the technology is a disgrace.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, our final speaker is Wayne Spindler. 5 minutes, all items, Mr. Spindler.
Thank you. Okay, so I want to thank, first of all the lawyers that have sued the city of Los Angeles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is you, the private bar, who bridged the gap between us, the afflicted, and these scumbags, the city officials who rob us of everything we have. Justice can only be done in the court system, and thank goodness for these cases. Starting with Patino versus City of Los Angeles. Claims of discrimination, failure to reasonably accommodate based on disabilities. Of course the plaintiff is correct. This city doesn't give a shit about anybody with disabilities whatsoever. That's total prima facie evidence. There should be summary judgment on this case awarded to the plaintiff. $2 million should be sufficient, and a fucking apology. Number 2, here we go with these bridges. You guys don't do bridge maintenance. You don't know what bridge maintenance is. And this is in Huizar's district with the Santa Fe Avenue stuff. So we know Santa Fe Center and Loft, good, thank you for suing the city, clean their fucking clocks. Then we have the automobile accidents, which are typical. That happens. Item number 3, motorcycle against an automobile, number 4. Shit happens, you know. Then you got the slip and fall crap. Trip and fall, you don't even want to call it slip and fall. Of course, they trip and fall on your faulty sidewalks. That's where Mr. Willits, again with the help of class action lawyers, started to address this problem. Thank you, Susan Garr, for suing these scumbags. Then we have the private vehicle incident. Compton and 41st Street? Who the hell drives a car down there? Well, whoever was brave enough, Mr. Montolongo, thank you for being brave enough to drive a car between the intersection of Compton and 41st Street and probably not having a bulletproof window system. So again, thank you for that. And then we get to number 7. Look at this. Sewer backup. Now, you can't even take a shit in the city anymore without the sewers backing up. Look at this. Keister Avenue. You can't even put your keister on the toilet and take a crap anymore without it backing up with this defective city. Pearl Villa, Giulietta, and again, it's many people, they fucking can't flush their toilets and take a fucking crap because of this goddamn city doesn't maintain its sewer system. And we know that. You know it's true. So now they have to get lawyers to unclog the sewers. But you'll keep raising our sewer fees. And what do you do with the money? You pocket it and give it to your nonprofit 501c3 scam and friends and cocksuckers that you legally money launder through. And then we got Justin Malone, a Los Angeles Police Department patrol vehicle, and a plaintiff who was riding a motorcycle. You know what happens. Motorcycles try to split the lanes. Some cop didn't like it. Probably the driver was black, and he fucking bumped him off with his goddamn vehicle, and somebody caught it on camera. Again, if you see police near motorcycles, get out your cell phone cams, start recording. You will see this abuse. Stop discriminating against motorcyclists. Stop discriminating against them. Then we have item 9, 39 firms. You need 39 separate law firms just to defend the city against all the lawsuits that you have. 39 firms. You have a 600-man law firm in the city attorney's office, and you need 39 more legal assistance firms just to defend the city against all the lawsuits. Yes, because you guys don't represent the people. You hold a committee meeting today without a fucking quorum. You don't give a shit about the people, so they have to sue you. And they have to keep suing and keep suing and keep suing. And every day they come here to this committee on Monday and they go, pay me. And then they keep going, I want to be paid. And that's what's going to happen. Keep suing. Keep making sure these two fuckers up here keep paying you, because you got to keep getting paid. I'm going to get my money when I file my fucking lawsuit. Everybody gets paid. And thank you again for suing the city, and continue to sue the shit out of these filthy motherfuckers.
All right, Mr. Kretz, I'd like to suggest that item 9 be taken as, well, I guess we can't do it as a consent item, so I would recommend approval on the recommendation of the chair and one member, if you don't have objection.
No.
All right, and we'll go ahead and take item number 10, please, for a brief report by the CAO before we move into closed session.
Item number 10 is a city administrative officer and city attorney reports and ordinance relative to the issuance of $950 million of Municipal Improvement Corporation of Los Angeles Lease Revenue Bond, Refunding Bond, Series 2016A and Series 2016B.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Hato from the CAO office. This report requests authorization to issue up to $950 million of MICLA lease revenue bonds to finance the following items. 1, to refinance outstanding MICLA commercial paper notes that were used for the acquisition of capital equipment and the construction and capital improvement of certain city facilities. That's about $110 million. Second one is to finance the city's capital improvement building program, which is to protect the life cycle of large city facilities. As part of the CIP program, the buildings that will be improved are Figueroa Plaza, the Police Administration Building, Public Works Building, and the Marvin Browdy Building. That's about $2.65 million. The third component is to finance previously approved capital projects totaling $33.48 million. Those projects are the 6th Street Viaduct Replacement Project, the City Hall tenant improvements, and the Space Optimization Project. And lastly, the fourth component, which is the larger component of this bond issuance, is to refund approximately $780 million of outstanding bonds to generate interest savings subject to the city's debt policy savings parameters. Based on current market conditions, we expect interest savings to be approximately $82 million. That is roughly $3.43 million annually over the life of the bonds. We expect to sell the bonds in early May and also close in late May. this concludes my summary of this report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Kretz?
Yeah, just one question or maybe two. I noticed the list of underwriters includes one minority and women-owned firm and one disabled veteran-owned firm, which I think is great. Given some of the issues that the city's had with Wall Street firms in the past, is there anything we can do to help get locally based firms more in the mix? Do we give extra points, or do we just go with the usual Wall Street subjects?
The selection of these underwriters was based on a qualified list that was approved by council, and based on that qualified list, we sent what we call mini RFPs to 10 firms for the selection. And these firms, there was a mix of the larger Wall Street firms that you referenced, and also more regional firms that have minority business-owned type of certifications. So there is a good mix in that qualified list.
So we haven't actually finalized our choices yet, right? We're still in the process. Or have we picked those firms already that we're going to give the business to?
Based on the qualified list, we issue an RFP, and these are the firms that our office recommends and have selected.
So some of them, the local firms are included in that.
Yes.
And do we give extra points for local firms or firms in those special categories?
I would like City Attorney to speak on that. I'm not sure if giving additional points for that status is relevant.
So who can we ask to get an answer for that question?
Timothy Fitzpatrick, Deputy City Attorney. I'm not familiar with the specific procedures for issuing extra points, but we can certainly research that issue and report back to you.
Yeah, I'd be interested because I don't know whether legally we can, whether we can but don't, whether we can and do.
I believe it would probably be covered by our general contracting procedures, and we'll certainly research that and report back to you.
Yeah, maybe we can have a report back to this committee at our next meeting or one after that.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
So, Mr. Kretz, if there's no objection,
No.
Chair and a member will approve the recommendations and advance them to council. That brings us to our closed session items, and for the record, public comment on all of the closed session items is now closed. There weren't any other cards, were there, other than the adolescents who were here? Okay. Then we'll go into closed session.
What items would you like to take first, sir?
It's at the... All right, we are back in open session, and there being no other item before the committee, we are adjourned.